Hello everyone. Adam here again, and today I said what I'm gonna do. I'm going to review the Brazilian Grand Prix. Yes. Um, as I said in the previous video, I'm going to cover this because I wanna try and because I like F1. So let's just go right into it, shall we? After the previous round on Mexico, Lando is leading the drivers championship, and now it will be much more on Piastri to deliver his revenge. But will he? Well, we're about to see because we will have a sprint on our hands. So without that, let's go into sprint practice. And for me, I don't watch practices that much, so we are going to go straight for results. And the surprises are Saubers being P3 and P5, Bortolotto being 5th, and Hulk finishing 3rd. We might have a very good Sauber setup, I guess. Norris obviously topping the session and Piastri behind him. Surprise was that Verstappen was 17. But again, it's practice and we should not go about it too much longer. So now let's into sprint qualifying because that is obviously the one. And that was something else because well, in the first round, Sainz, Ocon, Tsunoda, and Lawson were done. Same as Colapinto. So this was the first that were eliminated. Then sadly, Berman, Bortolotto, Gasly, Albon, and Hamilton. I think, if I'm correct. Yes, who was out-qualified by Hülkenberg, which is pretty insane. And then it went, well, from Hülkenberg to Hajar, Leclerc, Stroll, Verstappen, Alonso, Russell, Piastri, Antonelli, and Norris topping the session. Which is pretty surprising, seeing Fernando 5th, and as I predicted, Stroll will win the race because it's starting to rain, right? What do you mean it's not going to rain? Oh, for fuck's sake. Well, as the rain was not here, sadly, so we went into sprint. And, well, oh god, that was something. Because do you know that, do you remember as I said the Piastri needs to lock in? Well, he did it, but problem was that uh, he locked it in a wall and Piastri wrecked himself out of the Grand Prix, same as Hülkenberg and same as uh, Franco. So they remind us of 2003 Brazilian Grand Prix when in the same corner a lot of cars were taken down. So now what Norris needs to do is just finish nicely. But before that, that was a red flag. So yeah. Restart was decent, Marks were fighting, and Fernando was fighting Verstappen, where Verstappen won, and even Charlie overtook Alonso, in which finally the Mercs settled down and decided to try to Kimi, they decided to told Kimi to push and try to take Norris down. Sadly, it didn't work, and Antonelli finished second. Norris winning the session, which again is good for championship points. And very big shout out to Pierre Gasly to finishing in P8, which is the last point paying position. But there was a big thing, and that was Bortoletto's crash. Yeah, Bortolotto just immediately he just snapped the wheel and just tried to overtake, obviously, but the snap was very heavy. The car was done. It was like 53G, which is insane. So sadly, he was out from his own Grand Prix as well. And again, I'm kind of pissed that Hülkenberg sadly was sacrificed in here, as in the previous sprint because, well, he was taken out. Now let's move on to qualifying for the main race, should we? Right? Well, the big surprise were there? Well, fuck they were. Yuki, sadly, um, not making it, and sadly Bortolotto. The team actually made it. The team actually repaired the car, but well, it was not fast enough, and he was not counted for the qualifying. So the others that left was Tsunoda, Colapinto, Ocon, and Verstappen. Well, holy shit! Yeah, it turns out that Max Verstappen said that even in a sprint the car was kind of funky, and problem was that well the team made it even slower tractor, so that's problem because now he's starting from 16th. That's from the first time that Max Verstappen was limiting from Q1. In Q2, and there was the elimination were Sainz, Stroll, Hamilton for whatever reason, Albon, and Alonso. Oh my god, why are Astons out in Q2? But surprising, in Q3 there is an Alpine and a Sauber, and a both of Racing Bulls, and one Haas of Oli Berman, because Ocon was eliminated with Max Verstappen. So the ending was kind of nice, seeing Hulkenberg in the top 10. Sadly, he did not uh, go like P6, he was sadly P10. But Oli Behrman was kind of all over when it was the first tries. He was MP3, but then a lot of people improved, and then he was shoved down to P8 ahead of Pierre Gasly, who somehow snuck into P3 with that piece of shit Alpine, but Pierre Gasly is literally the guy that can do it, so yeah. Surprise, surprise for Racing Bulls of Hajar and Lawson finishing P5 and P7, and well, Piastri doing Piastri things and cannot capitalize. He finished in P4 behind Charlie and Kimi Antonelli. Lando Norris obviously topping the session. And now, let's move on to the race. Well, this was a fucking thing. Well, the start happened, nothing too much interesting happened. Piastri fighting with Racing Bulls, but after that, it became a little bit of a craziness because Bortolotto and Lawson, oh no, Bortolotto and Lawson, Berman and Lawson had a little tangle, and Berman was spun around. Then after two corners later, Bortolotto tried to stand up on the outside of Lance Stroll, but Lance Stroll just, I don't know if he blocked him or not, but again, nothing happened sadly, and Bortolotto is out. Yeah, Bortolotto is out, so kind of unlucky for his home Grand Prix. And the thing is, here, it again did not fucking rain. So again, another prediction that went fucking haywire, lovely. I'm not getting my hopes up next time. And well, after that, when there was a red flag, but why? Oh yeah, oh yeah. After that crash, Bortolotto crash, there was a safety car put in, and I think it was safety car. Yeah, and then when the shot, yeah. Uh, Jesus, my deepest apologies. But when that happened, a safety car was brought in, and Verstappen got into the pits to get rid of the hards and put on a set of mediums. So now he had the pit stops done, and he was going the long one. Now, what we had was a restart, and Lando kind of did it nicely, I would say. But the thing was behind him happening because Piastri decided to send it absolutely onto Charlie and Kimi, and he then kind of thought that he will be able to do it, but then he outbreak himself, and hit Kimi, which Kimi bitch slapped, back slapped um, Leclerc's Ferrari and taken him out of the race. Oh, how I knew that this would not go well. Then it brought a virtual safety car. Then they were start racing again. And after some time, we saw that Piastri had a 10-second time penalty. Well, holy shit. Verstappen getting again a little bit ahead of a lot of people because he pitted already and he was on set of mediums. Now to go nearly towards the end to put some soft rubber and immediately start setting some fast laps. Not only that, but he was that fast that he was not only getting there, but he was slowly getting to P1. And then my memory kind of just goes a little bit off. But in the midfield, a lot of people were fighting. A lot of midfield fights with Gasly and Hajar. Then there were the two Hasses. There was a lot of people and a lot of fights. So it wasn't a boring race, but my memory kind of slipping. But I'm trying to remember. Well, after those pit stops, Piastri served his pit stop with the 10-second penalty. And oh yeah, and Yuki for punting out Stroll. Yeah, Yuki after the Stroll put Bortolotto out. Yuki took down Stroll or spun Stroll around, and he got himself a 10-second penalty. And not only that, but then he got another 10-second penalty because the team could not wait to touch Yuki's car. So that's kind of unlucky for Yuki, and now he had another 10-second penalty. So when Piastri served his 10-second penalty, he was down in seventh, around that. So he needed to make places, but they put him onto soft tires, which I don't know if it was a good call or not. If he would go on hards, I think he might be able to minimize again, being at least third or fourth. So I don't know. He could maybe be in a better place. I don't know why they went again in the same strategy. Clearly seeing that Piastri is a lot of cars behind Norris. I don't know. I don't know. But what was surprising is the Mercedes were still up, and not only that, they said that Berman might have a shot on this. So now Berman was. I was thinking, could Berman actually get a podium? That was very quickly shattered. Well, he couldn't, but he was very close to it. But yeah, he wasn't able to do it. But now it turns into a 3-4 horse race. Norris is in the lead. He's gonna win the race, definitely. Then there is Antonelli, Russell, and Max Verstappen in softs that he put now, and he's starting to chase the leaders. Then is Piastri. And then it became a little bit of a chase. Max Verstappen chasing Russell, who is complaining about the brakes because they're overheating as fuck. And Kimi had as well high temperatures. So he was kind of in a big trouble. By the way, the Sauber of Nico Hülkenberg still in P6, or now P7. My apologies. And Pierre Gasly is still in points. How? I have no idea. But yeah, and by the way, yeah, Hamilton, sadly, out of the Grand Prix, because he in the beginning, and I forgot to mention that, he ran Franco Colapinto and his wing shattered and went out on the floor, and the floor had now holes in it, and Hamilton was struggling as fuck. Ferrari put him in a fresh tires, but then when the tires become shot, the Ferrari was become to driving like a fucking nightmare. So they retired the car at the lap 37. So again, a big hit to Ferrari. Again. But now back to the lead. Now with Max being Max, he overtook Russell pretty quickly, and now was chasing for Antonelli. Oscar was uh, closing down the gap to Russell as well. So we had a two-way fight maybe. Again, we might have a Mexico part two, but this time it might not be ruined. Yeah, it wasn't actually. It went until the end, but pretty much unlucky because, well, Antonelli, well, good for him. He finished P2. He held it, Max Verstappen, because he destroyed his soft sadly, but again, fucking awesome drive for someone who started in a pit lane. He finished on podium. Like, how in a mother of fuck he did that, I have no idea. And Norris obviously winning the race, as I said. And then, well, Verstappen on third, and then it was Russell and Piastri. Piastri was not able to capitalize on the brakes. And then Ollie Berman sixth in a no man's land. And then in behind, it was 30-second gap to Lawson, Hadjar, Hülkenberg, and Gasly. It was from P7. It was till Lance Stroll. It was that close. Lawson, by the way, and Hülkenberg were at the one stop. So very, very nice job from Lawson and Hadjar and Hülkenberg and Gasly to not only getting some crucial points, but to proving that the Racing Bulls definitely has a very good car if they have a very good day. Now, how it looks in terms of championship? Well, Norris getting more lead over Piastri, now more than a race win, and with 3 more rounds, or 2 more, yeah, 3 more rounds, the chances of Piastri beating Norris is getting slimmer and slimmer. And yeah, and he is starting to bottle. He is starting to bottle ever so slightly. And as I said it, well, now I said it first. Since Hungary, I think he started bottling a little bit. Hungary, that sand that from the second to last lap, that was completely unnecessary. He definitely had one more chance as well, but I don't know. Now it seems that his pace is nowhere to be seen. And Max, third place. Watch out, McLaren. This guy might be still on the way to steal that. We never know what might happen. Whatever can happen. Maybe Norris, Verstappen, and Piastri will crash, and it will be a double 1-2 for Ferrari. Who knows? But next is gonna be Las Vegas. We're gonna see what happens there. But I have to say, this was pretty nice race. Again, Brazil cooked us very, very nice. Very nice race. For me, it was definitely a 10 out of 10. Definitely, very nice race. And that will be enough. And that will be off and everything from this video. This is my first time trying to do this shit. I know this sucked, but you know what? I don't care. It was a pretty good race, I have to say. I liked it. And now we have to wait another 2 weeks. Unluckily. But until then, I'll see you in the next video. And stay sandwich, everyone. Bye bye.